You used to send me pictures, though. You sent me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby. Joking. I'm joking.
Hi, Daniel. How are you? Congratulations on winning the 11-second club this month. And I'm Dana Bodway, and this is my eCritique for your winning project. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself first. I have been an animator for 23 years. I am currently a freelancer. I've actually been freelancing for about 16 years. And I have been a mentor and animation mentor also for 16 years. And before that, I was working in various studios, in-house work. And I've worked on all kinds of different projects, which is something I love about being an animator. Having the opportunity to work on so many different things. I've worked in feature films. I've worked on television series. I've worked on DVD movies, commercials, games, and even most recently did some work for a fine artist whose work travels to galleries all over the world. And so that was really fun. I got to see my work in a gallery in Manhattan, which was something I never expected would be an accomplishment as an animator, but it was really exciting. So let me just start by saying that I think that your characters are fabulous. I don't know if you designed these and built them yourself, but if you did, kudos. They're really fun. The design is so interesting, and it's got this really creepy, cool Tim Burton-y sort of feel to it that I think is just fantastic. And you have some really lovely posing going on here, very dynamic and fun. And I gotta say, I love the yellow glasses on the one guy. It just gives him this extra bit of personality as far as the costuming goes. And putting this dialogue into the setting of a funeral is really interesting idea. So you've taken the dialogue and you've put it into a situation that is, I'm guessing, 100% completely different than where the dialogue came from originally, which is a great way to approach something like this. This is something I encourage my students to do all the time if they're doing a dialogue shot, is to put it in a completely different context and have some fun with it. So good for you on that. All right, let's play it through.
You used to send me pictures, though. You sent me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby. Joking. I'm joking. You used to send me pictures, though. You sent me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby. Joking. I'm joking.
So the animation style is really fun. As I was saying, I'm enjoying your poses very much, but it's also got this motion. Sorry, I keep wanting to say motion capture. It's got this stop motion, the other motion word. It's got this lovely stop motion feel, and it feels very tactile. You know, it's got this claymation kind of thing going on with it. And I think that is a really nice addition to how the characters look and the design of them. And so that makes it even more fun to watch, I think, for me. Let's look at let me look first at the editing. So the timing of the editing, perhaps, let me just turn the volume down so I can scrub through. The timing of the editing perhaps could use a little bit of adjustment, just so that the shots don't feel so kind of chopped up. So right now you've got a cut here. And it is happening right after the dialogue.
Baby. Get it, baby.
So he finishes speaking, and then we cut and we see the other character turn in reaction to what he's saying. And what I'm suggesting is that you should cut a little bit sooner. So while the previous character is still finishing his sentence.
Baby.
And at the opening of the next shot, so if the other character was still talking, you would see your character still here in some form on this side of the screen because he's leaning up against this character's side over here. So initially there would be a matching pose here, and you would see the very end of the other character talking, and perhaps the speaking character could be in a little bit of a unfocused, closer to the camera, so that the audience, when we cut to this shot, is really focused on this guy. So it would just cover the very end of his sentence, and then when he finishes and the other guy is starting to move, then your first character, who's over here on the right, could exit from the shot. And we just, because, the other character starts to move. So in reaction, we see this guy exit from the shot, and the reacting guy gets to have the full screen to himself for the rest of his reaction. But this way, the movement from the end of this shot here with this character would continue into the next shot for just the very end of the sentence. And then we would get to see the second character do his reaction.
Ugly baby. Baby.
And both characters would kind of still be tied into the story. This way, we see screen right character leaning against the other guy, but then when you cut, there's no connection there anymore. And then when you cut from here to here, we've got the other character all the way over here. So if you finish the first shot with your glasses guy backing, or finish the second shot rather, or begin the second shot, I'm sorry, with the glasses guy backing out of the screen, then we're ready by the time we cut back to the shot for the fact that he has moved away. So it's just like continuity between the shots and continuing the motion and making the storytelling have a more seamless feel that flows through those cuts, rather than the cuts feeling like they're chopping the scene into pieces.
Maybe. Joking. I'm joking.
And you might even want to wait until this guy has started speaking again, getting into that first word joking, before you cut back to this angle again as well. So it's just cutting over the dialogue so that you don't have the sentences being so definitely on either side of the cut. So if you cut just at the very beginning of a sentence, or just at the very end of a sentence, and let them overlap slightly, that just helps to keep things a little bit more continuous.
You should send me pictures, though.
Pose-wise, great stuff. You've got this guy has this really great hunch over, his shoulders are down. He is holding on to the umbrella. He's got a very sad look on his face. The other guy he's got a similar line of action to him. However, he's a lot more sort of perky looking. Part of it is his shoulders are not slumped. He's got the straight arms. And the energy is much more high level. There's more tension in the pose, whereas the other guy has a lot of the muscles are very relaxed in the poses, and that's adding to his sense of sadness in general. So you have a nice contrast in the the pose style of each of these characters. And, you get your little guy going into this big energy movement to get this dialogue started. His movement is very perky, a lot of energy, a lot of contrast. And the big guy, his movements are very slow, not high energy at all, very low contrast. And so, the difference between the way the two characters move really helps to create very individual personalities for each of them. Nice overlap with the way the arms are moving. You've got an interesting stylization for how you're handling the way that the character is moving. Obviously, the movement style isn't existing solely sort of in the physical world. There's a very cartoony sense to it. He's a bit rubbery with, the way that he just bounces off of the chair, the way that his arms stretch when he's doing gestures. I love how he invades the other guy's space, just pushing right into him while he's grieving, for this person who has passed away at this funeral. This guy is just being extremely obnoxiously sort of cheerful, right? And he pushes right into his personal space. And this guy's performance is very limited. He doesn't have dialogue himself. And you've done everything with his facial. I think maybe you could get into, I'm not sure what the rig is like for this guy, but if there was a little bit more of a sneer here, I think that probably your ability with the rig to do a lot of moving around of eye shapes and stuff like that might be limited with this rig, I'm guessing. So you really are depending a lot on what's happening down here in the mouth. And I think in order to make his reaction feel a little bit more contrasting from his previous expression would be to get something a little bit more happening in the mouth. So maybe increase the amount of sneer, something that makes him feel much more suddenly annoyed, and really differentiate that from the sad expression. Then when we cut back to this shot, we have this guy leaning away, which is great. Sort of like, don't touch me. So that body language is very clear. The only thing that is an issue going from here to here with that guy is that, he appears to turn towards us and lean towards us, from in the camera view. And then when we get to here, he's actually backed away. So perhaps, again, that might be something that you might want to include in the edit. As I said, you would do the cut a little bit later when Glasses Guy starts to do his next line of dialogue. So perhaps as we're hearing that beginning of that dialogue, we might see in the previous angle, we might see Glasses Guy character's hand come towards his shoulder, and we'll see this guy back away. So he's beginning that backing away move, and we cut into the scene, and he finishes the backing away move in this shot while the other character is still talking. So that's another sort of way that you can get the continuity a little bit more defined between the shots. And your glasses guy is obviously a little bit concerned about the grumpy expression. So he's backed off a little bit too, but he's still reaching out and he's still got his hand on there, touching him, but his body's far away. So we get that sense of, okay, you know, trying to placate him a little bit.
He said you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby. Joking. I'm joking.
The lip sync is really fun.
You should send me pictures, though. You sent me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby.
I love the amount of exaggeration that you've done on the lip shapes. It's really fun. And it just really goes well with that character's exuberance, you know? So when he says pictures, you should get the teeth much closer together here for the end of that, so you can get the S pictures for that part. And it goes right from pictures into the word though. Pictures though. So with the getting the though in there, I'm just trying to. I'm guessing this guy doesn't have a tongue, but you might get away more with the word though without having a tongue in there if the teeth are closer together, you know, for that is in pictures. So that would help to bring that sound through from the end of one word into the beginning of the next one. And you really nailed the timing of that laugh as well and got the whole body involved with it, which is great. And I like the way that you've also made the lip sync. You've simplified it a little bit, so it's not showing kind of every little syllable of dialogue. It's flowing over the sounds nicely and still is reading what's being said quite nicely. And I love that when you were a baby, you know, and it's this big open mouth, which works really nicely with this big move forward. You're getting some nice stretch in the head by having the big open mouth as well as articulating the dialogue. Oh my God. This is great. How big? God. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. So you do need to get the such. You need to get the CH in there. Such a cute. God, you were such a cute. Oh yeah, there's the tongue. Cute, ugly, I love this crooked smile attached to the E on baby. That's a really great, unique pose for that. And I love that you're really keeping the emotion attached to the lip sync. Ugly baby. Joke. Baby. Joking. So for the end, or for both Jokins, if you should move the tongue up to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth there for the N in Jokin. Jokin.
I'm joking.
So you can see that moving inside.
You should send me pictures, though. You send me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby. Joking. I'm joking.
You've also done a really nice job of kind of acting within poses as well. So you're not changing poses too many times. You've got just emphasis within that pose for different parts of the dialogue where you have gestures going on and, you know, little weight shifts and stuff that are adding to the emphasis of what I'm hearing in the dialogue. I think that there really isn't too much more that I would do with that than what you've done, just because it really suits the style of the, like I said, the character design. The movement style really suits the design quite a bit. And there's a simplicity to it. It's very dynamic, but it's you didn't overdo the movement. So it suits the character style very nicely.
You should send me pictures, though. You send me pictures of you when you were a baby. Oh my God, you were such a cute, ugly baby.
And I would say that perhaps...
You send pictures of you when you were a baby.
Perhaps on this first hit, when the hand first is placed on the guy, that maybe he should already start to have a little bit of a reaction there. Like maybe like a look over, like what? Like a horrified kind of, you know, not over the top, but just like, hey, kind of thing. Even if he doesn't sort of turn all the way around to him, but he's just like annoyed, you know, that he's being touched, that this guy is talking in his ear when he's just sitting there being sad. You know, there should be some kind of acknowledgement that he's been basically slapped, right? He's been pushed quite a bit. You can see the impact.
Baby. Oh my.
So even if it's just like a side eye thing.
My God, you were such a cute, ugly baby.
And maybe during this part when he's leaning and pushing into him, maybe he goes from the side eye to, you know, going back to looking over in this direction during this part, so that and maybe he just gets this, like, you can see he's just about out of patience expression while this part's happening and he's being pushed into. And then he's still facing screen left there, so that when we get back to this shot, this turnaround still works, where he goes from, you know, that the side eye to the, okay, I'm losing my patience kind of expression to now I've lost it, you know. So it's that progression, like the guy is pushing him, you know, sort of one hit at a time from out of his grief and into this anger, this annoyance and into anger. So there's that sort of buildup that leads to this, which is a little bit of an explosion, right? Like, this guy's a big guy. So that's another reason why I'd love to see this expression be, you know, more sort of scary in terms of that rage, right? So that would help to increase the amount of emotional buildup that's been happening during the previous actions, where the other guy is smacking him and bumping into him and stuff like that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And perhaps in this shot, if you could get a little bit more attention into the other character, again, it might just be the way that he's grabbing the umbrella and what's happening with the other hand, and perhaps I know he's leaning away, but, you know, maybe getting a little bit more tension in whatever parts of the body you can with this rig. we do see that there's more tension in the lower body, and we do see the facial expression. But I think that you could increase the amount of tension in this character, at least with what he's doing with his hands, by having the one hand gripping the umbrella more and the other one, it's over to the side, but it might be clenched as well. Or maybe he's getting, maybe he's pulling it back and getting ready to sock him one, I don't know, something like that. Something just to show more tension. So these characters are a little bit tricky to get some of that energy going in, because they're unconventional. They're very unconventional proportions, but you could definitely just sort of get into what's happening tension-wise a little bit more with those hands and the arms and shoulder area, I think. And again, this facial expression here would be more extreme as well, to match the previous shot where he first gets into the angry expression. And then I think that buildup would have of emotion from the sad to the side eye to the annoyed to the anger would, you'd really be expressing that. And I think that would just put this over the top. This is really great. Again, congratulations again on your win. And I just really enjoyed your work. So keep animating, and hope to see you back here again. Bye for now.